Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, from that Zerg versus Zerg analysis segment back here, and we're going to be talking a bit about kind of what you're up to right now. Because you did mention in your application video, you're a full-time student, or you're at least going to be. So where are you kind of at with that? Do you know what you're going to be studying?
Yeah, well, I actually did get accepted to university now. I'm in my first year. I'm studying chemistry currently. I mostly just got into it because it's what I wanted to do, like I enjoyed it in high school. I'm not 100% sure if I want to stay with chemistry or if I want to switch into a different major after this year. Yeah, I'm just going with chemistry for now.
Science majors, I know, can actually be pretty difficult and time-consuming as well. You have a lot of time constraints, or is it pretty early on, kind of hard to tell that?
It's not too time-consuming now. I mean, of course, there's like a decent amount of homework, but for first-year students, it's not quite as bad as for the later years.
How's your family feel about your involvement in StarCraft?
They're supportive of it. They don't get too much into it, but yeah, they know I play StarCraft and like I competing in tournaments and stuff.
Maybe you make it to Premier League. Maybe you have to actually fly out and start playing your matches. Maybe you have to take a little bit of time off. I know that's caused some concern for example, Suppy was one person that came to mind for that. Do you think that would be a problem with your parents?
I don't think my parents would mind too much as long as I'm not taking too much time off school. But you know, I'll get to that when I come to it.
Well, let's talk a bit about your Zerg versus Terran, because this is one of those matchups that you say standard macro play, and that's pretty much what I think of Zergs doing in this matchup. So explain to us, how exactly do you play this match? What does standard macro play mean to you in this?
It's either hatch gas pull into like a 6-minute third base, or it's gasless into 2-base meta, or like also a fast third base, and just try to get up to your 3-base saturation as quickly as possible and just go into Ling Bling meta.
So you feel pretty comfortable in like the late game stages? Do you have any trouble with the early Terran aggression then, or no?
I usually play really safe, so not really against early Terran aggression. Late game, I think ZVT is pretty straightforward. Like, it's just Ling Bling meta, and if you can macro well, then you'll do fine.
Yeah, you said you like to play pretty safe. Do you have trouble then against the really greedy Terran players out there?
Yeah, that's the hardest thing to play against, especially if I'm opening like 2-base meta, because that actually puts them pretty far ahead. If I know they're playing 3CC, I can open greedier, but yeah, but if I'm trying to open really safe and I'm not sure if they're going to on me, then it's hard, yeah.
And if you had to identify yourself as having one strength and one weakness in the matchup, what would those two things be?
I think my macro is pretty solid, but I open really safe the majority of the time, and that puts me behind right off the get-go.
So you have a lot of confidence then that even if you end up opening safe, you have trust and faith in your macro that you're going to be able to basically pull back the game from a deficit.
Yeah, you're usually able to do that in ZVT. It's not like ZVP where if you're a bit behind, you just die to a 2-base all-in or whatever. In ZVT, you can come back as long as you take really good engagements and you macro perfectly.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the Zerg versus Terran of yours. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's game time! Zerg versus Terran.
Welcome everyone to the Zerg versus Terran. Today I am joined here by a very special guest. It is going to be Brandon Mwataran. What is up, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been really long, Ravi. Try to mess up your name, but I'm not very good at it. I'm just too nice. I can't mess people's names up.
My name's also hard to mess up because there's only 2 syllables to mess up.
Yeah,
you don't have a lot of leeway.
I'm kind of mad at you right now about it.
All right, but guys, we're going to be jumping in and introducing the players as we spawn down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map on top of the red Zerg player. Highlight player of the day and representing Team Ascension, it is Bioice.
And his opponent in the left side of Catalina. I tried to go with cardinal directions, but I couldn't figure it out. We have Beast.
Cardinal, inner cardinal directions, 9 o'clock position.
I have a confession, Ravi.
What's
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to intro the player, not. So I just.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. I was expecting you to.
Yeah,
see,
I mean, I usually do.
See, this is why actually when we start playing Legacy of the Void, we're gonna make a beautiful Archon mode team because we're so in sync.
I am so ready for Archon mode. Also, so ready for Blizzard to give me a beta key. What's up, guys? It's like a day after. I mean, however many days it is until.
It's totally live right now. We're doing this right now live.
Yeah, it's that many days after, and I don't have a beta key yet.
Yeah.
What's going on? It's been that long.
Well, I'm looking forward to
What
when
a
you do
joke.
get it, man. But okay, let's talk a little bit about the players and everything. Bioice did say he likes to play relatively standard Zerg play. So what I'm expecting to see is a lot of that kind of Zergling, Baneling, Mutalist aggression, and also I guess one of the big questions is going to be where he takes his third expansion. Just because right now with these spawns, Catalina, God, we've seen this map so many times. It's going to be Reaper heaven, and Beast is going to be able to put on a little bit of aggression. So we'll see how well Bioice deals with it.
Yeah, I want to point out we've had this map pretty much since the beginning, so we're gonna have this map for the entirety of Heart of the Swarm.
What? I don't think so. No, I think it's
Was it?
taken out. It's WCS season 2. It's no longer in the map pool.
Oh, I'm okay. Okay, I'll believe you because I don't watch it, but
Fair enough.
It's pretty much been the whole time. All right.
Yeah, it's been in here for a while though.
It's too long.
A lot of people are gonna miss that. A lot of
That's
people are gonna miss that Sectopus. It's an octopus with 7 legs. I don't even know, but you know what I do know? I know about Reapers, and I know about Zerg players getting really, really good at dealing with Reaper harassment.
Yeah, it's kind of become an art for a lot of Zerg players, especially like you'll watch the Korean streams. You're just like, how did you take no damage? I don't understand. You didn't even have to make a spore crawler like an eBay or extractor. Like, what happened? when was the Reaper nerfed?
Yeah, exactly. People have gotten really, really good at this, and Beastie's actually going to going up to a 3rd Reaper, so I'm expecting Bioice to take damage at this point. I mean, unless he's just going to go absolute god mode and take 0 damage. But usually you end up losing some Zerglings, and the 3 Reapers are there because you can kill off a queen with 3 Reapers.
Yeah. Oh, but Ravi, he lost 1 Zergling.
He did lose a Zergling and a drone at some point,
damage.
actually.
Oh, really? Okay, maybe was that like a scouting drone or something? I didn't see it.
Maybe it was a scouting drone. I'm trying to see like what his vision
I've been watching
is.
these.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't seen it.
Huh.
He didn't do drone scout. So he did lose a drone at some point.
Yeah, I don't know when. I've been watching these Reapers. Maybe he jumped in there before I saw it. Could be that.
Must have been something like that. But regardless, there's 3 Reapers doing some nice damage. They're softening up the queens, if nothing else, and may actually even be able to snag this queen over in the main base if Bioice is not careful. But so far, Bioice has handled this relatively well. I mean, considering he's only made, what, 4-ish Zerglings? Yeah, he's only made 4 Zerglings.
He's just got 3 lings right now. He just made the original 4, which is pretty great, just to take almost no damage from this. Oh, queen! Looks like it's gonna live, and that Reaper's gonna die. Oh, wow. Trade.
That was really close. Yeah, trade. I'm sure Beast is going to be happy with that trade. I mean, killing off a queen, but at the same time, I mean, you're killing off the queen how late on? Bioice already has 3 queens up, and one of the queens is already trying to spread creep. I've got to say, though, Beast is doing a nice job. He's denying the creep tumor. Actually, the latest creep tumor didn't even get canceled, so just kind of dead energy.
The queen does almost have enough, but there's 2 Hellions here now, so I really don't think much creep spread's gonna go on. Let's see if they can pick off one of these queens. It's really close on one of them. Nice transfuse, though. That was a very nice transfuse.
Yep. Finally, Beast is gonna have to back up. I want to know behind this, he is going up for the tech lab on the barracks, getting up his stim, getting up a factory. So we aren't seeing
Orbital.
anything. Well, I mean, we are seeing the 30 CC already being planted down. It's actually in a kind of peculiar place. It's in the natural expansion.
Yeah.
Which seems, it's like a little bit greedier. A lot of the times you'd have that maybe sitting in the main base, a little bit safer location, but I don't think it's gonna be the base
like
deal.
it here. Like, he's been doing so much pressure with these Reapers. He made 3 of them, so he's gonna have map control for a while. He's also followed them up with Hellions, so it's pretty safe, and I mean, that's exactly what we saw. There was just 0 pressure. Has he even left the, Zerg, other than Overlords, hasn't even left his base.
Yeah, I think that's pretty typical for ZVT these days. Zerg players just kind of trying to get a nice little defense up to get up their natural expansion. Once they finally fend off those Reapers and the Hellions this stage of the game, they end up taking their 3rd, but ooh, gotta be careful. He's losing a lot of health on one of those queens, ends up losing that, but I mean, at the cost of a huge surround on the Hellions, Beast ends up losing a lot of his army there.
Beast lost quite a few Reapers, or Hellions there, excuse me, and bruised the rest of them. The highest health one is like, well, it's just in the yellow, but there's one that's like, yeah, it's at 10 health, so very close to dead. He's gonna have to re-repair these, which is a little more money. They're still worth it, but, every little bit.
Yep. Reapers do manage to sacrifice. I mean, there was only 2 Reapers left over, and they managed to kill off another 3 or 4 drones. So, I mean, not too terrible. But, of course, as you were saying, you know, it's not the biggest deal in the world. Beast has a couple of units back at home. He's repairing up some of them, but the 3rd CC, the 3rd Orbital Command, really does make it so that any damage that Beast gets done is really, really nice. The only thing that I've got to say, though, is that Beast hasn't been able to put a lot of... He's not going to be able to put that much pressure on for a little while onto the 3rd expansion. So Bioice is going to have a nice window where he basically just gets to do whatever he wants until he gets up Mutalisk, and then he gets to get the map control.
Yeah, you're right. Beast Army is really small here, but I like what he's doing. He doesn't have... Does he have stim yet? He does have stim. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's got stim. He's getting combat shields. He's getting upgrades already. He's on 3 racks right now. They all have add-ons. So 1 tech lab and 2 reactors. So he's pumping out quite a few units. And he's teching right now, building a few more barracks. So he powered really hard to get this 3rd CC up pretty quick. And he's got it landed now. The 3rd base is, I mean, you know, not bad saturation. It's got 8 right now, plus mules.
Yeah.
And there's even 4 SCVs that could be mining there, just building a depot wall right now. So he's got a really nice economy. Now he's just powering up on his actual production. And he should be able to pump out a pretty strong army here. The question is, what is his opponent, Bioice, going to do with this time? And it looks like he's going to take a 4th.
Yeah, I like that decision also. I mean, the Spire is just finished up. Kind of interestingly, he finishes up the Spire, but doesn't immediately just start going into hardcore Mutalisk production. He's actually making some Banelings. He's getting his upgrades. He's playing this out very patiently. He's kind of saying, you know, I don't really need to do a lot right now. I can actually just drone up. I don't need to put a lot of pressure on you, because that's also, in a sense, its own risk, right? If you try and go for a lot of Mutalisks, you do need to get some damage done with them. If you try and run as a lot of Zerglings over into the 3rd expansion, you need to get some damage done if you end up losing them. But if you just drone up behind it and kind of are patient about it, you don't really have to do that kind of risk.
I wonder if Bioice is underestimating the size of Beast's army. It's small, man. He could probably take this pretty easily. I think he doesn't realize how quick that 3rd CC was, and just how much, I'm not going to say neglected, but how much Beast concentrated on economy first. Beast is actually moving out right now. He does have an armory for Hellbats, but this army is not big, and there's going to be Banelings with speed.
Yeah, Bioice. God, Bioice just has such a big army, and if Beast is not careful, he does not want to engage this army, period, much less on creep, so he ends up losing everything that does not get loaded up into the medevacs, and he's retreating home for the defenses of, like, whatever reinforcements are popping out, but there's not actually that many reinforcements.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst trade ever. He traded a bunch of Hellbats for Banelings, so you're not sad about it, but his army is not big, and this is a lot of Zerg stuff, man. There's 6 more mutas on the way, and he's about to have +1 air weapons finished, so not only is this a big Zerg army, but it's got some upgrades. It's got 1-1 on the ground units, and this is a decent amount of Mutalisks. They're pretty scary.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is Beast does have some decent upgrades going for him as well. He got 2-2 about halfway completed, so he's leading in the upgrade count, and he does also have 77 workers, which is, I don't know, maybe that's too many. That's like more than a normal Terran would usually have, but he's gonna have a really strong economy, so I think he's gonna start booming pretty soon. On the other hand, though, Bioice, God, this creep spread is just, it's getting out of hand.
It's excellent. I love Zerg that does a lot of creep spread. I think this is, like, if you see a silver Zerg, just like macro and creep spread, that's all that really matters. And then they'll win a lot more.
Yeah.
Obviously, these guys are way above that, and it's still good here.
Well, Baneling's having to move around that cliff. Actually, the Widowmine shot is phenomenal, murdering almost all the Banelings over there. But there are a couple left over, and Bioice just has enough units to clean up.
Oh man, that Widowmine shot, it's got 15 kills! Most of which are Banelings. That was gross. That was just disgusting. But it does look like this army's gonna get cleaned up. Just Marauders now fighting Lings. Some of them even get abandoned by the medevacs that are completely empty.
Yeah. Oh my god. Poor guys. Beast does have a couple of Marines moving around on the right hand side, but oh my god, I just saw the Mutalisk flock.
Yeah, wow, the mutas were not in that fight at all. They were just hanging out at home, and it really paid off because Beast was doing a drop in the meantime. He just cleaned it up for free.
Yeah, this Mutalisk count is, again, it's absurd. And this goes back to, like, you know, you could try making your Mutalisk nice and early, or you could just be a little bit patient and make a ton of them because you were just droning up, taking your 4th, and playing super, super greedy behind it all.
Yeah, he's got 27 mutas and 2 more about to finish, so
Oh,
we've
God.
gotten 29 mutas. That's a large number. We do see that Beast does have the ability to deal with it. Really highly upgraded Marines can fight the mutas. Obviously, the mutas are way faster, so they dart around a lot. So you need to build some turrets and tech the Thors, but he's not just going to get obliterated if these mutas attack his army. It's probably going to go the other way around.
Yeah, he does not want to go for a direct engagement with these mules. He also has to be careful about the Widowmine shots. Okay. Well, going off on some of the Zerglings, and Beast is going to be able to push on a little bit further, but I want to note how difficult it is. Oh, I was going to say for Beast to push onto Creep. All the engagements happening at the edge of Creep. He's never able to get into Bioice's actual territory.
Yeah, and that's really important. The Zerg just does not want to lose all this Creep. It's actually such a big deal. Like, you don't realize it all the time watching. Well, you do have an engagement right here and actually completely cleaning up Beast. Was there a Widowmine hit on those mutas?
2 Widowmine hits on the Mutalists, but a majority of them still managed to survive, and actually a lot of the Widowmines even end up dying to those Widowmine hits, but I think that at this point, Bioice just has too much stuff, and he's going to be able to push on in.
He's inside the base. There's a bunch of mutas left over. Still some Zerglings and Banelings fighting. The only Widowmine that was on the map is dead now. Don't know what Beast can do. He does have all those SCVs, but I mean,
not for long. Not for long.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of fighting units. We've seen that a lot in PvP, but
yeah. Well, Mutals are going to be able to clean up the 4th orbital command. At the same time, Beast is sticking around. He's doing some nice damage over to the 4th expansion with the drop. He's going to be able to take that out and maybe even be able to take out the infestation pit or something. But, I mean, what do you do as a Terran player when the Zerg is just on top of your production facilities? It's not a whole lot.
All the SCVs are dying right now. All the units that come out of these bunkers, barracks, and the factory are just dying immediately. Well, one Widowmine does kill some Lings off, so that was kind of nice. I was watching that drop, and like 6 Mulas just flew by it. We're like, yeah, we don't care, dude.
It's not a big deal. Who cares? Zergans and the Queens will actually be able to force that back. But, I mean, at this point, Bioice has done the damage he needs to. Sure, he loses his 4th expansion, but he can just go ahead and reestablish that. And all he has to do is continue the aggression with the Mutalists. He's already taken out multiple orbitals. I want to say 2 orbitals at the natural expansion and also the one that was going to be the 4th. And Beast is almost mined out.
Yeah, he's actually just pretty much out of minerals. He's actually not mining at all in his main. And his 3rd is getting attacked by these mutas, and all these SCVs are dying so fast. The destruction. It's so sad. It's like some kind of wildlife documentary where I don't know what's happening in this documentary, but like a cheetah is just eating 12 antelope at once. It's that intense.
Yeah, exactly. The cheetah is just playing with his food, as you might want to say.
He's just got like 17 baby antelope around him, and he's just murdering them and eating them. This is a thing,
murdering
guys.
them at random.
Yeah, no, they do it. When like antelope and stuff. Oh my God, there's so many mutas. They'll eat the babies all the time. That's like their main food source for a couple of months. Anyway.
So we're at the point where the Mutals are like starting to get like their own upgrades up. They're sitting at 2-1 versus the 3-3 Marines. So, I mean, obviously, Beast is doing a good job with the upgrades, or was doing a good job with the upgrades, I should say. I don't know if he has the economy so much to be doing well with the upgrades anymore.
I mean, he's got the upgrades. He's a 3-3. He's got, like, an okay amount of Marines, but they're all pretty bruised, and this is just such a huge mutaflock. And, I mean, they still regenerate super fast, so it's pretty hard to kill these guys as Marines.
Exactly, yeah. Well, there's 3 medevacs left over, but that's going to be it. GG gets called. Beast's gonna be taking the game.
Yep. I would like to point out that at the end there, Bioice is just taking bases everywhere. He's just got like 3 bases coming up on the map. Why not?
Eventually, you gotta just say, you know what? I'm done eating the antelope, or sorry, playing with the antelope and killing them. I'm gonna eat them now, and soaking up that good old protein, man. But that's
baby antelope, delicious.
Quote, baby antelope, delicious. But that's going to be it for the TVZ, guys. We're going to be moving back into the analysis segment, so don't go anywhere. TVZ? Yeah, ZVT. Anyways, we'll be moving back to the analysis segment, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back from that Zerg versus Terran. I'm back here with Jackson, and we're going to be going over the cool parts of this game. So, Jackson, break it down for us.
Game resumed.
Okay, right now I deflected this 3 Reaper build. I saw he was going 3cc, so I actually got my Spire later. I was originally planning to go 2 base Mina, but instead I just took a faster 3rd base and I got my upgrades and delayed the Spire a bit. So right now I'm just trying to get up my 3 base economy. Okay, so this is the first major engagement of the game. He moved down the creep and lost some units, so that already put me in a pretty good position. He managed to save them though. Normally if you just lose those units, it's immediately game over. But he saved them, but he lost a few there. And now I can actually start harassing with my metas in a minute because I don't have that threat of him immediately pushing into me. And I'm just gonna finish saturating at my 4th base and start full unit production. Okay, so this was the decisive engagement of the game. Basically he was trying to push on the creep to my 3rd base. And I'm just going to attempt to kill this bio. I'm moving in to surround it. And it goes fairly well. And this was like the major tipping point where he couldn't really win the game anymore after he loses all these units.
All right, thank you very much for that analysis, Bioice. We're going to be jumping into the interview again. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.